G'day guys, welcome back to Ride Road Dirt. In this episode we're out here in Neerim, Victoria, Australia. We've recently had some suspension work done on the 2010 Generation 2 Kawasaki KLR650. And today we're putting it to the test. We'll be taking it out on the local tracks and really seeing how it performs in the terrain it was built for. So settle in and come along for the ride. So the bike's up there, just come down to the one and only toilet. Tell me, who is going to the toilet here? That right there is Australia. The stories are true. Overseas, the spiders are real in Australia. All the Australians will be like, it's just a huntsman. Yeah, cool. G'day guys, we're back at Neerim. This is the end of the first track that we've usually done. The car park up the end is very busy. That's where it leads into when we come out here usually. But I couldn't film up there, it's packed. So we're gonna do this track in reverse. But the reason we're back here, because the old donkeys had a suspension upgrade. We've gone with a high calibre brand, it's Australian, 0.48 new fork springs in the front. The fork springs come out of the pack longer, so we thought they were wrong, but it's actually right. They're a generic spring, they fit in a few different bikes, so there's a spacer in there, you have to cut that down to meet the requirements of how long the new spring is. New spring oil and things like that. Standard is 0.40. It has made a big difference, it's a lot stiffer, and it seems to be more balanced. The rear, I've gone with an 8 kilo. So standard is around 5. Then you went up to 7.4, 8, 9, and then, you know, your really heavy stuff. So I've just gone one up from the bottom. Look, I think all this weighs about 100 kilos. So that 8 kilo spring should really help. Look, I'll be honest, we just got back from a huge trip from Dargo. We did get into a bit of trouble on Billy Goat's Bluff. It's just after Christmas and New Year's, so that track had been ripped up. And these 200 kilo bikes, we just shouldn't have gone down there. So that'll be in a future episode. I'll show you a few quick clips now. So keep your eyes on the channel for that. All right, 25 PSI in the tires, new suspension. All right, it's a lot more rutted up, just being after Christmas and New Year's, but this thing just feels like so much less hassle with this stiffer suspension. So if you feel a lot better because it's not throwing you around and being unpredictable, it's a lot more planted, which gives you confidence to go a bit quicker even if you're not thinking about it. Yeah, it feels really good now. Different bike. If you're thinking about doing some hardcore exploring on your KLR, before you do anything, just make sure it's maintained, get that suspension upgraded. Feels like a better dirt bike, like just heavy. Just got to keep in mind it's not built for dirt, but it's one of the closest things you're going to get that's comfortable enough on the highway and able to do things like this, unless you want to spend upwards of, you know, 20,000, 10 arrays and all that. But did it really nicely, really well.
What the f?
Everybody looks at me like, what the? I can see him looking at me in the mirror. Yeah, that's right. I'm an idiot. All right, let's head to the next track. It's one of my favorites. It's that fast flowing one. If you look at my other video, it's that quick one. What I've been up and down it a few times by myself and with the boys. Last time we were here, I couldn't quite keep up on the tracks with Ed on the V-Strom and Dean on the KTM 390. Ed, I can't keep up because of rider skill. He's just a really good rider, been riding his whole life. Even though you've seen him crash a few times on the channel, still a quick rider and a good rider. And that 390, me and Dino, I would say, are roughly around the same skill level. But that 390, with all its modes and how light it is and how nimble, it just ate up the tracks. It's just so easy to ride, and yeah, it's just great. But check out my other video. I'll put it up for you there. That's a good watch too. Although Ed crashes, he still absolutely owns that V-Strom around here, and it has no business being out here on the tracks as the way it is. But yeah, go check that out. So we'll hit up this next track. Again, no worries, but here's the thing. It's sort of the start of the day, and that's the first sort of hill I've had to climb, so I'm always a bit rusty. It takes me a bit to warm up. So I made that look harder than it was. It is a little worse than last time I went up there. But yeah, less bouncing around, more pointed. It's great. Definitely recommend this upgrade. So we'll see how we go with the rest of these this track and the next one. The other thing I was going to mention is the Delcovic. I've put the baffle back in. It was too loud. Everyone was complaining at Dargo, and it was a bit, by the end of the trip I was over it too on the highway and stuff, so the baffle's back in. That'll stay in. But yeah, I would recommend that too for 400-ish bucks Australian. The responsiveness and a little bit more poke and the noise, definitely worth it. And you lose a bit of weight too, 4 or 5 kilos of weight. But all the mods I've done, definitely a good idea. But see, like, you can throw it up hills, throw it over little jumps, and it doesn't phase it. Getting a 200 kilo bike off the ground's a different story, but if you can do it, it's yeah, not phased by it anymore. Won't bottom out. This is the perfect sort of track for an adventure bike. I can go a bit quicker and not be bouncing so much. It's just so good. And the end of the track. This is what I like to call audio corner. I know I've said it before, but for the price, it's hard to find a motorcycle that's this robust. That's not to say it's everyone's cup of tea. I know there are a few haters out there, but I like to think of these bikes as the Subarus of the bike world. A bit quirky, with their own loyal crowd, but seriously reliable. If you're in the market for your first adventure bike and you're working with a modest budget, the Kawasaki is definitely worth a look. Another thing I really like about it is that it actually teaches you how to work on bikes, because it's one of the simplest motorcycles around. That said, there are plenty of great adventure bikes in this class. If you want some ideas, check out my adventure bike shootout on the channel. I'll link it at the end of this video. But for now, let's hit the next track and see how the big KLR650 handles it with the new suspension. Alright, there she is. Been here before, been okay. Be interested to see how we go with the new suspension. Is that first puddle? Always try not to, oh, it's not even a puddle at the moment. We have had a bit of warm weather lately. Get rid of the sunnies. It's better. Yeah, it's so much better. Just gonna have to watch out for other riders. It's yeah, very early in the year and there is a few boys out, so this is the bit where I go, oh, that's steep. More rutted out. Very much so more rutted out. It's had a lot of use over the last few weeks, I reckon. Alright, so just stop for a quick rest, bit of a settle, bit of a drink, food. It's actually a lot of work, like putting the camera somewhere, riding past, coming back, grabbing the camera, doing things like that. It's a lot of work. So we're just on Young Track. I've just stopped here for a sec. I'm just about to jump back on, but I just wanted to share a quick tip that I learned over the weekend. When we were on Billy Goats, I come off, I had my adventure boots on, which they're O'Neill. They're not the most expensive, but I always thought they were a bit thinner than your MX boots. So they're my enduro boots. Everybody knows they're fairly sturdy. Anyway, as I come off, the foot peg must have hit the top of my foot. Sort of got caught under there just for a minute. Anyway, I got a big bruise on my foot. And yeah, as I was checking the boot, it's just a lot thinner than the enduro boots. I know the enduro boots aren't going to be as comfortable to walk around in all day, every day. But I think if you're coming out and you know you're going to be doing some harder terrain on a bike that's not built for it. I actually said it to the boys. We're riding things that aren't dirt bikes down hard tracks with less protection on. It doesn't make sense. Why are my boots thinner on a 200 kilo bike than when I'm riding my 90 kilo KTM? It's silly. So every time I come out for a big ride like this, I'm gonna wear my enduro boots, my MX boots. I wouldn't have a bruised foot if I had these on. So it's just a tip. You don't have to listen, but that's just my experience. I thought it would help. It's a safety thing. It might help. You know, you might not have a broken ankle, you might have a bruised ankle. I wouldn't even have a bruised foot if I had my enduro boots on because they're just so thick and robust. The foot peg bent up, but the bit behind the foot peg hit my top of my foot, so it's bruised. But yeah, just a quick safety tip. Yeah, we'll keep heading down Young Track. We'll get to that hill and we'll see how the big girl handles it with the new suspension. Oh, geez, it's sandy. Here's me lining up that jump. Forgotten. This place is been absolutely smacked around the last few weeks. Christmas, New Year's to be expected. It's just broken up the ground a lot more. It's just a bit of sand, a bit more sandy, a bit more loose. So, but rescued it. If I didn't have these tires, I probably would have lost it. Hey, that sand got me again, put me offline just as I wanted some traction over the jump. Different beast today. This is that hill. We'll just sort of see what it's like, crawl down, and then we have the task of riding back up it. Wow, it's so much more rutted out than last time. This is nothing compared to what we did the other day. You'll see in the future video for billy goats. Oh, I remember that hole. Yes, I've got to stick to the right on the way back up. Just because I'm by myself, I'm not going to continue on. We did go down there last time with my dad and my brother, but yeah, nah. Just don't want to go too far in when I'm by myself. Good job, Droney. Beautiful. That was the track. We can, yeah, cruise on out of here. Did that hill twice just to get the shot. But no, the Dji Neo, and that's the first gen. Good enough. Let's just see if it can follow me uphill. Sounded like it was going to hit me in the back of the head. Oh well. Oh. Just got to hear the whistle. Yep. That's not bad. Turning into a Dji Neo droney thingy. I can't go my usual speed because it won't keep up. But yeah, that's pretty impressive, eh? Give you an idea of young track. It has its pinches, it has its moments. But yeah, good beginner track, and then if you want to keep going, it gets a bit tougher. But yeah, you can make that decision when you're looking at that hill. All right, we're nearly out. Take this hill. Yeah, so there you go. Don't underestimate the Dji Neo first gen. We're at the end of the track. It nearly followed me the whole way back. Yeah, you do need to buy more batteries for them. The batteries go pretty quick. I got some on charge here, but for $450, 500 bucks all set up, as long as you don't want to go kilometers in the air or kilometers far away, they're golden. Alright guys, that's another episode done out at Neerim. yeah, all I can do is recommend a suspension upgrade if you are looking at doing hardcore adventuring on your KLR. The only thing I would choose differently for this entire bike, I wouldn't mind a Gen 3 with fuel injection and ABS. If I could turn the ABS off, would be perfect. But for now, this old clapper, 2010 Gen 2, exhaust, foot peg upgrades, higher windshield, longer front tooth gears for the highway, crash bars, got the little crash things here on the end of the handlebars, upgraded mirrors, quad lock, phone charger, did I say exhaust? The Delcovic exhaust, and the last mod, front and rear upgraded suspension. Also, the other upgrade was the tyres. You've seen them heaps on the channel. They're road legal knobbies. They are wearing out quite quick in the rear, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. I've just done about 2,000 kilometers since I got them, and they've worn down quite a bit on the rear. The front's still okay. I'm not sure how many Ks I'm going to get out of them. Maybe 3,000, maybe 4,000 if I'm lucky, but yeah, there's not a great load of meat left. But anyway, check out my Instagram and TikTok. Follow me over there. Subscribe if you're not already. We might be up to 200 subscribers by the time this video comes out. If it is, I will be choosing someone to win a Ride Road Dirt hoodie and 5 others in Australia to win 2 Ride Road Dirt stickers. So keep your eye out for that, and also keep your eye out for the Dargo series coming up. That's a bit hectic, so yeah, get ready for that one too. All right, ride safe. I'll catch you in my mirrors.